Hi, my name is Asti Atkinson with Essential Yoga Practice, and we are actually really excited to walk you through the tear pad that we've created so that you have a way to easily share essential oils and yoga and Ayurveda together in the same place. And this really was created with a lot of thought. Just wanted to give you kind of a little introduction to it. It was meant so that whether you are brand new to essential oils or if you're brand new to yoga, or if you're an expert with either or both, you can still easily use this class outline. And I just wanted to take you through what it looks like. This is the front page of it right here. So this very first section right here introduces the concepts of Ayurveda, of yoga, and of aromatherapy so that you've got a definition that you're giving. You can answer some questions for people. And then the center section right here talks about what essential oils are and what you're looking for with essential oil quality. So of course, we know that's a very, very important to make sure that your oils are tested, to make sure that they're pure and potent, to make sure that they are not contaminated or adulterated in any way. Really does create a very different experience for the end user. And what's really great is that when you have this tear pad on hand and you've also got our Essential Yoga Practice book, it has a spot here that tells you where to go, which pages have additional information about that topic. So if someone has a question or if they'd like to read or learn a little bit more about that part of what you're talking about, you can always access that later as a great resource. All right, the next part right here is how essential oils benefit us, right? So there are oils that help with respiratory, digestive, cardiovascular, endocrine system, the muscular system, integumentary immune system, the limbic and nervous system, and the brain. So you can talk about how these oils do benefit us, and they're very, very effective when we start using them combined with intention for yoga, when we use them for meditation, when we use them for pranayama, the breathing exercises. So there are some great oils that really do help out these pieces of our yoga practice. And when you combine them together, they do create a very powerful experience. All right, the 3 ways to use essential oils right here at the bottom: aromatic, topical, and internal. And we talk about how we would use those, and there's of course a lot more information in the book. But aromatic, you can put oils in your hands and breathe in, or make the lotus flower, right? You can also diffuse using a diffuser in the room, which is really nice, and both of those work very effectively for parts of your practice. You can also use them topically, such as if you're rubbing them on to soothe a muscle, or to warm up or cool down, or to address any kind of a specific abrasion, little cut that we get. I like putting a little lavender on a Band-Aid, right? Just some easy things that can help soothe the skin. And then also you can use them internally, specifically lemon or citrus oils. Peppermint is nice, but again, you have to make sure that the quality of your oils is internal grade, and there should be some directions for that. It should say supplement on the bottle, okay? All right, now the back, which is the part I love, we give a different topic for each pose. So, for example, there are standing poses, twists, seated poses, arm balances, restorative poses. And with each of those poses, there's a little synopsis that you can explain. For example, standing pose intention is to build strength in muscle and bone, promote extension of the spine, and provide a sense of grounding. And then at the bottom, under each picture here, this just gives you an example of a standing pose, and all of these poses we felt would be very simple to duplicate in a class, so that I'll go into that part in a second. For the class, you would want to review the different types of poses, right? And talk about what oils would be good. So this one mentions grounding blend or frankincense for standing poses, which helps get you centered, helps you get anchored. And if you know a little bit more about essential oils, you could also add that any of the tree oils would be fantastic, right? Arbor vitae, cedar wood, any of the fir trees. These are really nice because they help us root, they help us anchor, and they're going to help us have good balance as we are doing these standing poses, get strong and connected. Then we've got twists. And I love knowing, especially for your new yoga people, learning what these different types of poses do, what the intention is. It's pretty powerful. I remember the very first time I learned about twists, that they are helpful for releasing stiffness, that they help the blood to flow through the vertebrae, that they are helpful for cleansing the body. I was very intrigued. And so oils that are really good for this one, of course, lemon and grapefruit. Anyway, once you go through all of these items right here, you would choose two or three at the most that you would do in your class, and you would actually give people the experience of that pose with that essential oil. All right, and it is a really neat experience, and plan to give more than just a second. Give them a few minutes to kind of anchor in and really experience what that feels like. If you have several people at your class, you can also look up in the book how to do these same types of poses with the partner pose, because that also creates that sense of connectedness and can help improve the experience that someone has at your class. Now, these bottom ones are the pranayama right here, the breathing exercise. So to use breathe or peppermint or eucalyptus is powerful. You can talk about mudras right here, and then inversions. So out of all of these, this is what you would choose a couple out of, right? And we figure everybody can do this one, or everybody could do this one right here, a mudra. See that? So it's really nice, and you can allow this to be something that's open-ended in your class. Let your people choose what they'd like to experience. Make sure they're breathing oils in. And I should go back here. When you're talking about what essential oils are, and aromatic, topical, and internal, it is really nice to give people an experience with this. So some oils that make a big impact when you use them aromatically. Peppermint is one of my favorites. Wild orange is powerful. Some people love lavender, some people don't love lavender so much, but usually the citrus oils are really great. I think eucalyptus, especially if you're at a yoga class, can be really powerful. A respiratory blend that people can really breathe in and experience. So kind of think about what oils would make that big statement. You can even bring some lemon oil for people to try internally. That makes it kind of interesting when people have never tried oils internally before. And so those can be some good things. Now at the very bottom, we have some getting started and suggestions as people are thinking, what do I want to start with? What would be good for my yoga practice? And we have some oils that we think would be really great for a basic starting kit for yoga, which would include a grounding blend, a respiratory blend, right? People use that all the time in yoga. A calming blend, peppermint, ginger, lemon, and fractionated coconut oil. You always want something that can help you dilute as you're applying oils topically, just in case you have skin sensitivity or someone that you're sharing with has skin sensitivity. So, and then you also have some basic introduction ideas for yoga props, right? If you have people who are starting out knowing a lot about essential oils and aromatherapy, they might want to know, well, what do I need as I get started with my yoga props? So we have ideas here before, and then some Ayurveda lifestyle tips here, which really just mean taking good care of our bodies, being good stewards of the bodies that we have, because we only get one in this life. We want to take good care of it. So hopefully that gives you some great ideas of how you can use the TerrPad, and just kind of think through, if you are someone who doesn't really have any experience with essential oils or yoga, guess what? You can say, we're doing a peer guided group learning about oils and yoga, and I've got some oils here. We're going to kind of explore this together. You literally can read the TerrPad word for word and try things out and have fun and just let it be a great experience. If you are a yoga teacher or you have a yoga studio, of course, you can spruce this up a bit, as you'll see that these are some basics, but you could say, you know, we're going to follow this TerrPad, and this week we're gonna really focus on standing poses. We're gonna focus on the oils that can really be powerful with standing poses, and give people a few different options since you know what those are. And if you have a few different oils that they can try as well, that can give them a really robust experience where the standing poses are concerned. And so each week you could even do a series, right, as you bring people through. And that's going to be very interesting to people. And you might get different people that come back to those classes. So it would not be amiss to just go through some basics on what yoga, Ayurveda, and essential oils are, how to use essential oils, talk about the power of intention. And if you have access to any emotional resources where we'll talk about what essential oils support which emotions, that can also be helpful as a maybe a resource for your yoga and essential oils class as you talk about, now when you do this pose, if you have this intention, this essential oil might be good, or if you have this intention, this one might be good. Help people think that they don't have to use the oil that's on the dotted line. They can actually choose oils that will be the best for what they want to accomplish that day, or the best for what they're feeling at that moment, or if they're using yoga to overcome any type of an experience that they don't care to remember. In the same light, if they're doing some shifting, that can be very helpful as well. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us on social media. You can make comments. You can contact us directly at essentialyogapractice@gmail.com. We would love to support you in your efforts to help educate people on how to pair these wonderful practices together, and the best of luck as you move forward.